Deep in the heart of Mapletown lived Benny the Beaver, who was famous for two things: his delicious candy creations and his super tall ladder that reached all the way to the sky. One day, when Benny was closed for business, a terrible windstorm swept through town, sending giant pink clouds drifting low over everyone's heads. "Wow, it looks just like cotton candy," shouted Emma the elephant, who was visiting from the jungle carnival. "And guess what? They are cotton candy," said Benny, who just so happened to be an expert on magical sky phenomena. "Those are sky carnival cotton candy clouds, the ones that only appear when there's a strong wind and the sun is shining bright." Emma and her three animal friends looked up at the fluffy pink clouds with wide eyes. "Can we eat them?" asked Ricky the monkey. "Of course," said Benny, "but we'll need my ladder." These clouds are way too high to reach, so the friends climbed aboard and Benny began to climb, slowly reaching up, and away into the sky. When they were almost at the cloud, Milo the mouse held on a little too tightly to his friend S-Tail, and suddenly he started to float up and away from the others. "Help!" he squeaked as he drifted higher and higher. But there wasn't anything for him to grab onto. "Don't worry, Milo," shouted Emma. "We're coming to save you." She quickly tied one end of a rope to the ladder and threw the other to Ricky, who was hanging onto a bunch of colorful balloons. "Hold on tight," she said. And together they began to float up after Milo, but the cloud was melting in the sunlight and they didn't have much time. "I've got an idea," said Benny. "Grab onto the kite tails and let the wind carry us." Together they steered the kite towards the cloud, and just as they reached Milo, a friendly bird swooped down from above. "What are you doing up here?" she asked. "We're trying to rescue Milo before the cloud melts," said Emma. "Oh, don't worry your pretty little heads," chirped the bird. "Just take this caramel parachute and tie it to the ladder. It'll take us all the way down." But when they landed, they discovered something incredible. All around them were mountains made of candy, rivers of caramel, and trees that grew lollipops as big as houses. "Wow, it's a floating candy kingdom," gasped Ricky. "And look," said Emma, "there's the Sky Carnival in the distance." "We're in the middle of the jellybean bird kingdom, home of the most powerful birds in the sky." The birds loved watching the humans play with their clouds, so they often used them as giant parachutes to soar through the air. And although it was fun, Milo knew they couldn't stay long. If they didn't get back soon, the candy clouds would melt in the hot sun. "Thanks for the rescue, everyone," he said. "Now let's go." But just then, a group of grumpy birds flew overhead. "Hey, get out of our kingdom, you ugly monsters," they screeched. But before the humans could defend themselves, the friendly jellybird swooped down and stood in front of them. "Be nice," she chirped. "These humans mean no harm. In fact, they helped save the life of one of our baby birds who fell from his nest up in the clouds." Then, turning to the humans, she added, as a thank you, "I'll take you all for a ride on my cloud." So the friends climbed aboard and soared through the sky, dodging grumpy birds and sticky caramel clouds until they reached the edge of the kingdom. From there, Benny used his ladder to climb onto a high mountain peak where they could slide down on a giant candy cane. Woohoo! They all cheered as they raced down the mountain. Below them, they saw more cotton candy clouds drifting across the sky, and they knew that even though their adventure was over, the fun was just beginning. As they headed back to town, Milo still had pink sugar in his hair all week, a sweet reminder of his amazing adventure in the sky.